A woman says she respects her husband and she wants him to lead and she submits to him. Feminists go bat-ish crazy. Why so serious? Nah, yo. So what? We should all know who this is. This is Cameron. Cameron from Full House. All of us '80s babies should know who she be. And yeah, she went on HuffPost. Why she went on HuffPost? I have no idea why. I mean, I guess to me it makes sense if she's trying to promote her book and all that, and going on that show saying what she said would spark a bunch of controversy. The moderator who was interviewing her said, "Well, you said this in your book." This is after she was on her nuts and praising her for her career and the things she's done since she's been off that show. And then she goes, "Well, you said this, and this might anger a lot of women," which I don't understand. If feminism was about choice, right? Not, I don't believe that. I'm not that dumb. But if the narrative was that it's about choice, and if this woman chooses to have this worldview, why is it such an issue? Why is it a problem? Why is it every time a female, especially a celebrity female, goes on television and she says, "This is what works for me and my husband. This is what works for our marriage." And this happened like 3 months ago, or a couple months ago last year, with Gabrielle Reese, the professional volleyball player. She said the same exact thing. One thing I don't like about these women when they try to explain it, they dumb it down a little bit. They ignore, yes, he is the final say so. Yes, that's a lot of responsibility to say everything is on you as a man. And if things are wrong, I look at me first because I'm the one in control of the ship, right? If it goes down, I gotta go first. And I think when these women try to downplay, like, no, I'm not subservient, I don't just listen to everything he said, blah, blah, blah. I think you do a disservice to the fact that he has that position and you ignore what he has to go through as a man to take on that responsibility and the stress that comes along with it. If something's not right with his family, he has to look at himself and be like, well, what can I do to do better, do more? That's one thing I don't like. I read a comment from a female, a sister, who was saying something similar to what she said, but she's like, I don't care if I sound sexist or misogynist. I love men to be men, and I love men, and I'm not with all this female nonsense, feminist bullcrap. Like, she was just real about it. She didn't have to dumb down what it really is. She's acknowledged that it might sound sexist or misogynist to some of you, but she doesn't care. I wish you would get some women on TV who would do that instead of trying to like back away, because submissive is such a strong, powerful word, and you take it so far. And nah, be 100 with it. Your man is in charge, and you love the fact that he takes, those shots for his family. You don't want it any other way. So own it. Don't let these fembots make you try to dumb it down because they're not going to see it on your level anyways. This is one valid question that I do have is like, every time this happens in a meeting, it's going to happen over and over again. It's going to keep happening, whatever. But it's like, if a leftist feminist woman or, the progressive modern liberal female who has, an egalitarian relationship, right? If she came out and said, you know what, me and my husband, we do everything 50-50. We split it all down in the middle, roles and positions, what have you. Yeah, she's going downstairs at night when there's a noise in the house because, they're all equal. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Even if she was like a marksman shot and had a black belt in like 10 different forms of karate, she's still not going downstairs. But you get my drift. If she came out and pointed out and said that, this is what works for me and my family, most people wouldn't have an issue with it, right? I mean, some conservative far right, some Bible Belt people would write in their blogs and talk about it, obviously, but it wouldn't be an outrage to say, okay, that might work for you, right? Most people would respect the fact that that's what works for you and your family. But whenever it's this way towards the other way, feminists, people in the media, they feel some type of way about it to the point where like she's about to, because they understand the gravity of getting the culture's attention. That's what they don't want you to do. They want to hold the attention of the culture. If they're supposed to be about choice, why does the woman, I'm going to play the clip later, why does she have such an issue with this woman and what she says is about her marriage? Part of it is because I think they understand that most women, no matter how fembot they may think they sound or appear to be, they really do want this narrative. They're just too scared to admit it. And when they see women like this saying, I've been married 17 years, I'm happy, we're good, I think that they, you know, that can open a can of worms, right? It can change the perspective on young women today, and it would probably uh, change a lot of things politically as well if women were to revert back to this worldview, which is never going to happen. But I just think that the left understands the gravity of how powerful of what she's saying is saying. That's why they try to cock block it every time it's said. That's my point. Again, if the situation was flipped, most people would just wouldn't care. Like, all right, that's what works for you and your family. NPR did a question on like the head of the household thing with women, and there was a lot of people responded, and it was basically a lot of women said that it works for us, it's cool. A lot of men said it's all right. A lot of women said it didn't work for us. We tried it, and it led to our divorce. So it's not gonna work for everybody. But it seems like feminists, leftists want to force their narrative, and to think any other way is just wrong. To For a woman to just come out and say, I want my husband to lead. I want to follow him. Why is that even remotely a conversation? Like, why should that be a problem if that's what works for their family? No one would care that the feminists who there's a lot of women who want that, they're the modern liberated woman, and they don't want that, what they would call antiquated patriarchy nonsense, whatever, right? One thing that bothers me about that too is like women who, specifically black women in context, who are harping on the men are the leaders, men are the providers, protectors. They ignore this cultural problem. They ignore that this narrative is being propagated into where the fact that now most men and women don't believe in following traditional roles. And it's easy for them to sit back and point fingers at men saying, well, if men would do X, Y, Z, then things would be A-okay. No, that's not true, because we have a culture of women who don't want to follow their roles as well. And to say that if men got in their roles, women would just follow in line, that's foolishness. And I'll talk about that in a different post, different topic. But let's get back to what happened on Huff.
While trying to balance a career and balance a family. And so in your book, you do share advice that's a little controversial. I do want to go to a quote about marriage that I think, many women might take an issue with. She used to say, my husband is a natural born leader. I quickly learned that I had to find a way of honoring his take charge personality and not get frustrated about his desire to have the final decision on just about everything. I'm not a passive person, but I choose to fall in a more submissive role in our relationship because I wanted to do everything in my power to make my marriage and family work.
Yeah.
And 2013, the word submissive is a powerful choice.
Sure, it is, but the definition that I'm using with the word submissive is the biblical definition of that. So it is meekness. It is not weakness. Meek is having its strength under control. It is bridled strength, and that's what I choose to have in my marriage. And listen, I love that my man is a leader. I want him to lead and be the head of our family. And those decisions, major decisions, do fall on him. It doesn't mean I don't voice my opinion. It doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. I absolutely do. But it is very difficult to have two heads of authority. Doesn't work in military. It doesn't work. I mean, you have one president, you know what I'm saying? And then you have the vice president. You've got all the people that are working with him. And when you're competing with two heads, that poses can pose a lot of problems or issues. So within my marriage, we are equal in our, I'm looking for the right word, importance, but we are just different in our performances within our marriage.
But you even specifically say, if we disagree on something, he is right. He is the one that gets to...
No, it doesn't mean he's right. But I allow him to make the final choice. Absolutely.
Even at the detriment of your family.
Yeah. But obviously, I will make my opinion very clear. And clearly, I have been married for 17 years, and we have a very happy marriage, and it works very well. So I trust my husband. But that trust has been built. And I know that because I trust him and I build him up, and give him the respect that he would like to have within marriage, that he so listens to everything that I have to say and takes my opinion and very seriously. And many of the times he will sway to what I would like. even if he doesn't see eye to eye with me, because he really values my opinion. So again, I use that word, but I feel like it's taken so strongly when I'm kind of like, everyone just...
All right, so this is Jane Elvez Mitchell, I guess. This is the HLN TV. Never even saw that channel before. But I guess she's the one, the butthurt feminist who felt some type of way about her personal statements about, Cameron's. She talked about her own marriage and what she did for successful marriage and how it should work out for her. And I guess women were asking her, how do you do it all? And I guess that's the point of the book. Leftist women keep saying that you can't do it all, you can't have it all, blah, blah, blah. And I guess some women were looking at Jane saying, well, she seems to have it all, 3 children, 17 years of marriage. What works for you? The irony, one thing that's it's amazing to me is like the concept of traditional family, headship roles position. Of course, for most Americans, they view that coming from a biblical base. Yet there are cultures who don't believe in Scripture or the Bible, yet they still have that same foundation, and they still have successful families, successful marriages. If you look at like Chinese in America, they're winning, and they have a similar platform. They're a lot more stricter when it comes to a lot more things, but still, many different groups across the world have that same standard. And there's some matriarchal places, yes, they all suck. They all were overthrown and destroyed quickly. But yeah, that is amazing to me. That's how deep it is to me though. It's like even people who don't believe in Scripture yet follow the principles within them when it comes to finance, family, things of that nature, they still can have success in spite of their lack of faith in the author of those ideologies. That's deep to me. But let's see what this Jane had to say. She had a panel of 6 women, she was one of the 3 who was against Cameron's statements, and there were 3 other ones who made some great points on. And it was a short segment, so they couldn't really explain themselves. And Jane got loud and made noises and got enraged at the term helpmate, which is the position that the wife has to her husband. That's what she's there for. She started being an idiot and just making too much damn noise. So you couldn't really get a gist of what the women who were agreeing with Cameron's statements. And then one lady, I don't know, she looked like she's from some Real Housewives type show or something like that. All kinds of weaves up in her hair. She said she broke it down. She kept it 100 real, talking about the black community, and I think that's a question that's normally missing from the feminist debate. Is that most these women sisters are not looking for the egalitarian relationship. They're not looking for henpecked house husbands. They're just not. But let's check out her rant. Even though, keep in mind, Cameron was giving advice to women who wanted her advice on how her marriage was successful, and she said, "This is what you do." But apparently, Jane has a problem with that.
This is ridiculous. It sets women back decades. Look at the facts. Women are on the rise as family breadwinners. There are as many women in the workforce today as men, if not more. More women than men are graduating from college. So women are as educated and working as hard as men, but they should forget all that when they cross the door into their own homes and become submissive to their husbands. Yes, dear, whatever you say, dear. Really? You've heard both sides. Now we've got a cast of feisty females ready to battle it out straight out to the lion's den. Shay Marie, style expert, peaceloveshay.com. Take it away, girl.
All right, well, I find myself a very strong, empowered woman, so I have a real hard time with what she's saying. And I really think that marriage is about communication and equality. And she seems like she's taking, she's taking the submissive role. What is he doing? Where is he? She's doing everything he says. That I really just don't understand. I really would like to hear, a little bit of his opinion, but so far I haven't heard anything of what he has to say. I feel like she really needs to, I don't know, I want to hear what he has to say, really.
There's an irony to that, the fact that she's writing a book and she's speaking her mind,
yeah.
But she's speaking her mind about not really being able to speak her mind, or she shouldn't speak her mind. Tammy Roman, actress and reality star, you're a big question mark. I know everybody is for husband, against husband leading. You've got a question mark. Take it away.
Well, I think that I agree with her. You know, I think that in a relationship, there should be someone who takes on more of a leadership role. And submissive doesn't mean subservient. She's not saying that she's subpar to her mate, but that someone has to relinquish a little bit of control so that there can be a leadership personality within the relationship.
I'm keeling over. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are articulate. And you think because this man is a man, because he's biologically a man, he has a penis. He has a penis. He should have more of a say than you because you have a vagina?
Well, I'm not saying that he should have more of a say, but I think that I'm old school, you know, and I think that a woman should be covered. I think that a man should be a provider, a protector. They're hunters and gatherers by nature, and I think that we should allow them to take the lead role in relationships, contrary to what people may believe.
Ramani, I hear you're trying to jump out and talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I've got a real problem with this idea. This idea that a man will be a provider, and if a woman is submissive to her man, she'll be taken care of. Jane, you and I know the number of women who get shafted by that, and after 20 years of being submissive, she really then can't go into the work world, and that guy may not take care of her.
I didn't say lose yourself.
Yeah, until he decides to divorce you and get a younger wife, then what happens?
Yeah, no way. And then the woman is left hanging because she's been submissive for 20 years.
That has nothing to do with submission.
Okay, wait a second. No. Kelly Zink, Celeb TV?
Yeah, okay, this is ridiculous. Listen, I'm a career woman. I have been for the past 34 years, but with my boyfriend, I take a submissive role. I let him think everything is his idea. That's also the key, you know? He wants to open the door. He wants to plan things. He wants to walk on the correct side of the sidewalk. I love it. I think we're going way all 50 shades of gray on this woman for no reason. I think she's just saying that she allows him to take care of her and be that man. And, by the way, if this were a same-sex relationship, maybe one partner takes on more of the masculine role, likes to protect the other partner. It's not just about having a penis. It's about one person taking that lead.
Possible that you and women who want to be submissive in marriage can get turned on by that it's a sex game and you just take it in from the bedroom into the living room and the kitchen.
Sure. I mean, this is cable TV. I can be honest, right? But seriously, let's say I've taken in the past in my relationships. Yeah. Listen, I've taken that role before, the more dominant, I like to plan things. All of a sudden, the guy gets emasculated, doesn't plan surprises, doesn't want to do anything for fear of being yelled at, and then that takes all the fun out of the romance.
Look, and listen, unfortunately for African-American females, in urban households, we grow up watching single-parent females being strong, independent, taking the lead, handling everything, and then we grow up continuing that exact same cycle. So we go into our relationships and we don't allow our men to do anything for us because we could do it all by ourselves, and that's why most of us are single. And listen, unfortunately for African-American females, in urban households, we grow up watching single-parent females being strong, independent, taking the lead, handling everything, and then we grow up continuing that exact same cycle. So we go into our relationships and we don't allow our men to do anything for us because we could do it all by ourselves, and that's why most of us are single. Single-parent females being strong, independent, taking the lead, handling everything, and then we grow up continuing that exact same cycle. So we go into our relationships and we don't allow our men to do anything for us because we could do it all by ourselves, and that's why most of us are single. Anything for us because we could do it all by ourselves, and that's why most of us are single.
Listen, I'm not saying that you have to emasculate a man. I don't hate men. I love men. But I am saying that you can have a discussion. Whatever happened to, hey, honey, I see it this way. You see it that way.
That still happens.
Sit down and have a conversation.
But that still happens.
Not, oh, well, whatever you say, mister, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's what
I think you have a warped sense of what submissive is and what we're saying it is.
Agreed.
Jane, what is Jane, submissive? This woman no. Define submissive. Okay, who wants to define? Who says
me? My hand is up. Pick me, Jane. Pick me.
Go ahead.
Submissive means that you are the helpmate. A woman was created to be the helpmate. The rib came from Adam. You can go into the Bible. You can scream all you want about this. You can scream all you want. But helpmate, Azar, if you look at the original Hebrew, I can go take it super biblical on you. But what it means is a helpmate in war. So it's not to say that the man makes all the decisions and the woman is completely brain dead.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. Helpmate. I am not going to answer an ad that says helpmate. I don't think that's a healthy role for a woman. I do think that we fought so much for this equality, and that equality should also play out in relationships, and everyone's different. Listen, this is what works for this woman. That's what works for other women. Then that's fine. But the fact is women are being given a recipe by this Miss Bure saying, do it my way, because that's the right way.
Let me
and
tell
that's
you
not
something.
good
Women
for
only
women.
got the right to vote less than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay?
What makes you think we didn't
Women
have
fought,
questions?
suffragettes fought, they got arrested to get women the right to vote. And then other women fought for equal rights in the workplace. And you're going to throw it all away to be a helpmate? That's outrageous. It's outrageous.
No, it's
All right.
And I have a
don't
question
worry, I
here.
love
What
to
about
argue.
her?
My opinion is
What
men
about
like
her
difficult
daughter?
women who give them a hard time. That's the truth. Don't be too cooperative. They don't like that. They will go for the B word every
Absolutely.
time. Truth. Don't be too cooperative. They don't like that. They will go for the
Ooh, I
B
hope to
word
meet
every
the
time.
six faces. Ugh. All right, so this is Jane. I guess I don't know her. I never really saw her before on TV, and I guess I don't know what her political views are, where she leans, or what have you. In this post, in this segment, she sounds like a leftist fembot. But on her Facebook page, I'm reading some of the comments too, because she posted this on her Facebook page, and a lot of the women are disagreeing with her, and they're disappointed in her for her over, taking the situation way out of proportion. Like, she's acting like it's the end of the world. Like, I don't know if she does that because of her niche for her show, but apparently these women are saying she's doing too much. And I'll read some of these comments from her page. The first comment, I'll read some of it because I don't agree with halfway through it already. But she says, I want to believe each person should say what they want to say, and one has to have a prevailing opinion. In this woman's case, she wants it to be her husband. People have it twisted down and blown out of proportion. And Jane, I love you to death, but I am disappointed in your outrage, your over dramatization about this. It's not setting the women's movement back anymore. This is stupid. This and that stupid notion that gays will destroy the fabric of marriage in our society. Oh, chill. It will. Not only will destroy the fabric of society for marriages, it'll destroy what family is too. I'm gonna start reading what she said though. I'm gonna leave it at that. But she's disappointed in her Jane. Next comment says, I think there's other stories that you could spend your time on in heated debate. Candace is a religious woman with kids and a very successful marriage despite her fame. The Bible does say that wives must submit to your husbands, but also says husbands love your wives. As Christians love the church, as Christ loved the church, those two combine equal respect, but allows the husband to be a leader of the household just as he should. He is to be the example and the care for his family. To be submissive doesn't mean you have to be a slave. Other words, her words have been taken out of context. If people disagree with her views, that's fine. We have the freedom of religion in the country. Last time I checked. Obviously, being submissive and living godly life enables her to have a successful marriage and happy life, and I applaud her for that. This other woman says, "Good grief, Jane. What is your obsession with this topic?" Another comment from another female says, "We are all submissive one way or another in our own relationships. If not, check it. I agree that Candace's opinion on her marriage, to each is their own." Another comment says, "I believe the best things for my marriage is to be submissive to my husband. I believe that the biblical order, and I think that those who are Christians should go to the Bible for their stance on it. Not to me. Some celebrities or preacher. In the end, it's between a believer and God." Another comment says, "I don't see why this is even an issue. Her choice. She's a strong Christian woman. She lives by the word of God, and the Bible says that in her life to be submissive and to get to her husband. I think some people really think this is wrong way or perverted way. Shame on y'all. Just leave her alone." Another comment from another female says, "Jennifer, submissiveness does not mean slave. It means accepting your role and accepting your husband's roles and living in it because not because you have to." She's right when she says people hear hear that word and they think 50 Shades of Grey. That's the perverted version, not the real life version. I'm so proud to submit to my husband because he has proven that he takes his role in the head of our family seriously and lovingly. These comments are long as hell, but that's enough reading that one. The word submissiveness is misrepresented, and I think she expressed it very well in her interview. She had her husband talk. She and her husband talk about everything over, and at the end, she leaves the major decisions up to him, and that's how it should be. Another comment says, "It's her business. She wants to live her life. Leave her alone." Another comment says, "Yes, a woman should be submissive to God and her husband. Submission does not mean you are giving up anything. It's my honor to talk things out with my husband, and it's my honor to allow him to lead my family. When a husband loves his wife and he hears her and he applies her opinion and his beliefs to his decisions, and a woman feels the value of her opinions and his actions." Damn, shit's deep. There are times in my life where I would have said, no. But when you are married and you have an amazing man, it changes things. And men are submissive to women also. It's a two-way street. Huh? I don't know about that. To an extent, yes, I think submission would be a better said respectfully of the husband's status, head of the household, but that's just my opinion. Don't trip. Oh, we found a feminist. This is such a patriarchal social society. Men wrote the Bible. Men created the laws in the land. Men have wanted women to think that they are subservient since the days of the agricultural beginning. They think they work hard. They think their ego inflated to believe that they are the head of the family. Well, I think that system has held women back for centuries. She got 4 likes. Another comment says, "I think it is sad how women are saying, oh, hell no. Those are probably the women who are either divorced or in a second or third marriages or in an unhappy one, and you can't figure out why their marriages don't work because they aren't allowing their men in their lives to actually be men. It's not sending anyone back. I'm submissive to my husband because he has earned my trust and my respect, and we belong together 70 years. We're doing something right. And to the women who say men will cheat on you, you're very ignorant." Another comment says, "I can't believe you're still on the story. Move on is her choice. I didn't see anyone to lead me or because my superior, nor will I be submissive to anyone, period. If she wants her name, wants to be submissive, more power to her. So as long as I don't have to do it, it's none of my business." I can respect that feminist narrative. Submissive is not a slave or a lesson. It means that you allow your husband to lead and be the head of the family. I don't get this allow thing. Like, do you really allow him to do it, or is he going to just do it regardless? A man who has that narrative, that worldview, it's not like you're going to stop him unless it's via divorce. A true man does not use your submission in a way to control you. If he is a true man, he takes... I hate when they get into all this true man stuff. If you read the context of scripture, and which is what she's applying this to, you understand that it's a give and take situation, and there's a lot of responsibility from the man on his part to have a woman to do that. So chill. You don't have to explain that to the leftists. They don't care regardless. They'll always make the extreme of the guy who's beating on his wife and beating his kids and a drunk and alcoholic. That's going to be their narrative. So you're saying that he should submit to this type of a guy? So there's no point of trying to break it down and dumb it down like that, because that's going to be their exaggeration every time. But she goes on to say, your submission is the way to control you. If he is a man, he takes control seriously and he works with you. If not, he's a boy, then you are. Being submissive becomes control thing, and that's not good. I was married 19 years, submitted to my husband. Then 25 years, we are still married, 5 children, 1 finished. I don't care what your kids are doing. They're all successful, blah, blah, blah. I am happily married, even being submitted to my husband, because he is a real man and he takes care of his family and respects me as a wife. And the feminist is back again. Hell no. Both individuals are parents, not the ruler, one of the other. I submit to no one. And she's a pretty chunky one, too. And she's probably a single mom, from what it looks like in her pictures. Alright, never mind. Is there any more worth reading? Another female says no. Another female says, hell no, not the 50s, 60s anymore. Oh, another picture of a woman holding just her and her baby. Jane, shame on you. You made it sound like she was a fool. She is setting the woman's back 200 years. Unfortunately, it's comments like yours that make people ashamed of having some morals and some values in their lives. Oh, all women should be outraged at everything, just like Jane. Huh? All women should be outraged at everything, just like Jane. Should a woman be submissive to her husband? It's her choice, period. This last comment, I guess I'll read it from a female. She says, no, she didn't have it to be anyone's business. As some of y'all are saying, she would have not have written a book or done interviews putting her business out there for the public to see scrutiny. Again, she was asked by women how did she have a career and have 3 children and stay married for 17 years being in Hollywood. So yeah, she put her business out there for those of them who wanted to know how did she do it. In that biblical worldview, that platform of husband and wife, that works for her family and her marriage. That's why it's out there. That's pretty much it. How long is that? 10 minutes. All right.